It is also normal that someone managed to break through this defense. Why? Because the enemy is the special services of the Russian Federation. Highly qualified hacker groups are incorporated into these special services. But Kyivstar is, to put it in jargon, a fat target for hackers because a lot of things are tied to the Kyivstar systems, its services and its cards.
Hello and welcome to Ukraine in Flames, a special project by Ukraine Media Center and NGO Euro-Atlantic Course. And I'm your host, Myroslava Yaremki. The telephone, telegraph, railway stations, and bridges must be seized and held at any cost. These were the basic principles of Russian military actions during the time of the Bolsheviks. However, in the first weeks after the full-scale Russian invasion, Ukraine managed to maintain the stable operation of communications, banks, and energy. This stability during the war was taken for granted, and concerns about infrastructure did not return until late 2022, associated with massive shelling of energy facilities. Kyivstar, the largest telecommunications operator and one of the largest taxpayers in the country, became the first victim of a new large-scale hacker attack. In 2023, the number of Kyivstar subscribers exceeded 24 million. For comparison, the second largest operator, Vodafone Ukraine, has about 15 million subscribers. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the aftermath of the significant Kyivstar hack and the unprecedented cyber challenges confronting Ukraine and Europe. If you want to learn more about this subject, please continue watching this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our videos in the future. Russia planned to repeat the wave of hacking attacks on Kyivstar after the big December attack. The Secret Service of Ukraine says that Russian hackers have been inside Kyivstar's network since at least May 2023. A second wave of attack could have simply reset the base stations, thousands of Kyivstar base stations, which in turn would have meant that each base station would have to be manually accessed and rebooted. The investigation is still ongoing and will continue for a very long time, as hundreds of servers were destroyed during the December attack and thousands of computers were completely wiped out. CEO of SPECVUZAVTOMATIKA company Serhiy Haiduk will discuss lessons learned after the major Kyivstar hack.
Kyivstar is a modern and quite advanced IT company. I think both in IT and in the field of cybersecurity. And Kyivstar had a multi-echelon protection of its users, its business, and its customers. It is also normal that someone managed to break through this defense. Why? Because the enemy is the special services of the Russian Federation. Highly qualified hacker groups are incorporated into these special services. And these people won't stop at anything, you know that. So, social engineering was applied, and the person with a high trust rating was found, and that person had access to the equipment. That person had all necessary logins and passwords, and the monitoring systems, I think we don't know that. Maybe some abnormal things were detected. For example, inputs from anomalous locations or inputs with some anomalous timings or something else. Perhaps that person was approached by the Kyivstar security service with comments on what was happening. We don't know what the dialogue was, but the fact is the fact. You can find a key to any system if you work in a highly professional manner. And our task, as people involved in white business like Kyivstar or Ukraine in general, is to protect ourselves As much as possible, I think we have to think about our data, think about access, regulate this data, regulate access to sensitive data, identify what data is sensitive and what people have the right to access it. We must fill our IT system with various tools to track user actions, track any anomalous actions of possible criminals, etc. Our job is to defend. Well, their job is to try to break through to us. Kyivstar is a critical IT infrastructure. It is communication. It is one of the largest mobile operators. Therefore, the impact on the economy and logistics in Ukraine was very serious. The banking system was partially affected because payment terminals did not work. It is impossible to fully assess the consequences of this attack. Why? Because no one knows the user story of a particular user who came to Nova Poshta to receive, let's say, FPV drones for the army, and was unable to do it because he has a Kyivstar number and someone did not receive those drones at the front line in time. Maybe something didn't happen at all or didn't happen according to the plan. We'll never know all the consequences.
A cyber attack on the Kyivstar operator destroyed about 40% of its infrastructure. Many servers and data were destroyed, which caused a network failure, said the president of the company, Alexander Komarov. During the hour and a half when Kyivstar lost control over the network, the hackers did quite a lot of bad things, he noted. According to him, hackers had certain specific goals. More on the increase in cyber attacks this year and unprecedented cyber challenges for Ukraine and world in general, please welcome Head of the Department of Information and Cybersecurity at Borys Grinchenko, Kyiv Metropolitan University, Pavlo Skladannyi.
The impression regarding an increase in cyber attacks this year in 2023 compared to 2022 is a bit misleading for all of us. We, the civilian population, were busy with completely different issues and took no notice of the activities that were going on in cyberspace. They weren't covered as much as, for example, combat operations. Since the first day of the full-scale war, even within a few months, these attacks have been massive. Not just massive, but the most massive in terms of the number of incidents. As for Kyivstar, it's difficult to comment on anything now. Let's leave these comments to law enforcement agencies, the agencies that are competent to deal with this now. But Kyivstar is, to put it in jargon, a fat target for hackers because a lot of things are tied to the Kyivstar systems, its services and its cards. These includes the alert system, which we saw stop working in some regions. A lot of terminals, bank POS terminals, also work on the Kyivstar system. The same happened to Helsi. And the biggest goal of all this is to compromise our information and telecommunication systems, our long-term espionage, and some intelligence operations. I think the most they probably want to achieve is to disable our people. This is more of a psychological operation, because for several days a lot of people could not simply contact by mobile phone, the internet, or use the home internet, if we're talking about Kyivstar. Other networks were overloaded because everyone immediately switched to other mobile operators, and this caused some inconvenience to our users. In general, Europe and the world have probably never faced such challenges. And neither the best intelligence agencies nor hacker groups have ever conducted such large-scale actions in cyberspace as Russian hackers are conducting now. They have begun to involve criminal hacker groups, commercial companies operating on their territory, as well as outsourcing companies in their cyber attacks. And what the Ukrainian cyber specialists, the State Service for Special Communications and Information Protection, the Cyber Police, the Department of Cybersecurity of the Security Service of Ukraine are doing now are really heroic actions. During one of the seminars, our European colleagues highly appraised the work of our specialists. Although we have limited resources compared to European countries, the human factor of best programming, cybersecurity, computer systems, and network specialists proves that we really can. And previously, we went to Estonia to study, for example, at their world-famous Kasim Center, and now people come to us to study. And that's why when someone says that something is wrong with our cybersecurity, that our universities train bad specialists, that things go wrong, that's not the case. Indeed, we don't have enough specialists, but our specialists are highly skilled. The country and commercial organizations must turn towards education and science in terms of cybersecurity and information protection, and continue to help sponsor and develop this sphere in every possible way, because this is critically important. Because to put it bluntly, not a single missile and not a single Shahid will reach its target if we do everything right in cyberspace.
You've been watching a special project by Ukraine Media Center and Euro-Atlantic course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine in Flames. In the description under this video, you can find information on how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!